Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Iyabo. Happy Sunday. I didn't have a live scheduled today with Ronke Ayababy. Hello. Thanks for joining me. I was running late. I didn't have a live schedule today with anyone, but I decided to keep the Sundays flowing. I'll come on by myself and we'll discuss my favorite topic, permanent happiness, because you guys know I have a book titled Permanent Happiness, so I thought we'll just chat and talk and help each other on becoming permanently happy. So if you're joining in and you don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Iyabo Webzo. I'm an author. My book is titled Permanent Happiness, what we're discussing today. And I'm a motivational speaker. I love to motivate women and everybody who likes to hear my voice. I'm a board certified pediatrician. I'm a physician entrepreneur. I've spoken 3 times at the United Nations. I'm on the medical board of Flow Health. I'm also a lifestyle blogger and I'm a life coach for women and an online educator. So because I just opened my online school, I can now give myself that name and that title, online school. Thank you, Ronke, my friend, Ayababy. Thank you, dear. Thank you. It takes one to know one, my gorgeous friend. So welcome everybody. Today it's going to be a laid back tea time with Dr. Iyabo. I really want to talk about permanent happiness. And I'm not going to start yet. I'll wait till a few more people join. But if you've read my book, the title of my book is Permanent Happiness. And I just want to discuss that because permanent happiness honestly involves every part of our lives. Being permanently happy means being permanently happy in all the parts of our life. And I want you to ask me questions because you have me for an hour today. So if you've had any questions you've been wanting to ask me, that were different from what's pulchritude? I don't know what that means. I don't know. Danny Tampa, somebody typed pulchritude. I don't know what that means. If you can define what pulchritude is. But anyway, yes, so you have me today. If you have any questions for me, please go ahead and ask the questions you have for me. I'll be glad to answer them if I can, and if I can't, I'll direct you to where you can find the answer. But today is a laid-back tea time with Dr. Iyabo, and I hope that you'll enjoy talking about permanent happiness. So again, if you have any questions for me about entrepreneurship, about financial freedom, about happiness, peace, fulfillment, anything like that, professional development, personal development, any questions you have, please go ahead and ask because I'm here. Now, of course, I'll have this replay on my feed, on my Instagram feed, as well as YouTube. So whoever doesn't join can at least come in and join us later. So what's permanent happiness? So when I first published that book and I started talking about permanent happiness, some people were like, can anybody really be permanently happy all the time? No, that's impossible. We can't be permanently happy, but we can actually be at peace most of the time, if not all the time. We can, no matter what has happened in life, we can still try to be at peace. So permanent happiness really is the same thing as peace. It's just getting into a mindset and getting into habits, because what makes a person, it's what we do constantly. So habits are what makes us who we are. So really it's developing that habit that is going to make you at peace with the world. That no matter what's going on with the world, no matter what's going on outside of you, outside of your spirit, you're at peace. So no matter how people are treating you, or if there's a pandemic, or there's somebody, unfortunately, is ill in your family, or, there's just something negative going on, you can still be at peace within you. And it comes with practice. It's not something that is easy to have. It's not easy to always be at peace, but with practice, you can actually be at peace all the time. It doesn't mean you're happy all the time. If you meet anybody who tells you they're happy all the time, they're deceiving you, because we all know it's impossible to be happy all the time, but it's actually very possible to be at peace, to be content with yourself. And again, it takes practice. I can't say that when I was younger, I knew how to always be at peace with myself. It takes practice, but some people get it when they're in their 20s, some people get it in their 40s, some in their 50s, some never get it. Some live their entire life distressed and worried about one thing or the other, or trying to change everything. There's one thing for sure that we know in life, and I'm sure people who are on here who are mature and who understand, life is forever going to have ups and downs. So this pandemic we're going through is not going to be the first or the last pandemic. It's not going to be the first or the last time that life isn't going well. It's going to come. Those of you in middle age know that life is cyclical. So there's going to be ups and downs. So then what do? If we know that life that is going to be cyclical, then we have to figure out how to have calm and peace within ourselves, because we can't control what's outside. And those of you who are Christians or who are people who are spiritual understand that, right? And if you're hearing me, if you agree with what I'm saying or you don't agree, let me know, just so that I can, we can make this interactive. But if you're spiritual and you're a Christian or you're Muslim or any religion you're in, you understand about life, right? That you can't control what's around you. You can't even control your kids or your spouse or your parents. Talk less of your neighbors, or talk less of your community, or talk less of the world. You can't control people, but you can influence people. So the way to be at peace, and this is a very simple formula, but as humans, I believe we make it complex for ourselves. The way to be at peace with the world is to work it from in here. And it takes practice. Again, I know it sounds easy, but it takes practice. Even when I lost both my parents, even though I was crying and grieving, I lost my dad and then I lost my mom less than 3 years after. I had lost my sister, 8-10 yeyears before that. I was sad, I was grieving, I was crying, but I was still at peace. It's a complex thing, but you can be at peace, but you can still be crying and grieving. It doesn't mean you're happy, but you can be at peace and just acknowledge that, well, God, I can't control this situation. You decided to take them, but I know that it's for all things to be good, and it's for all things to come together for good. So there's a way, and I have a whole book. My book, Permanent Happiness, is all about what I'm talking about. If you want practical steps to be able to be permanently happy, to be at peace, I have 3 steps, and I'm going to go through them one by one for you. Again, if anybody has any questions, please go ahead and type them. Let's make this interactive. You have me for an hour today. But to be permanently happy doesn't mean that you're jumping up and down and you're happy and, you're dancing all the time. No, it just means that you're peaceful, you're content, you know who you are, you're confident about, your spirit, and that you're faithful, and that you know that everything's going to be okay at the end of the day. It takes a higher vibration. It takes a higher level of faith. It takes a lot of work to get there. But when you get there, I'm telling you, it feels really good, because nothing honestly will make you angry for more than a couple minutes, if at all. Because you're not mad at the world. Exactly. Thank you, Ronke. You're not mad at the world. You'll just, say, okay, well, what can I do to recalibrate? What can I do to reset? Whose life can I change? If you're busy changing lives, if you're busy being of influence to people, not trying to control people, there's a difference. I think we mixed it up. There's a difference with being influential than controlling. Controlling means that you want to force them to understand your point of view, and if they don't, you get mad. Influence is just, there you go. This is how I live my life. This is how I think it works for me. How about you try it and see if it works for you? And I love you regardless whether you agree or not. So that's how to be at peace. So let's go into the practical steps of permanent happiness. So what are the practical steps? The first step that I talk about, which makes a whole lot of difference, is if you're making a difference in somebody's life, you won't have the time or the energy to be mad or to be worried or to be distressed. And that's what we're all here for. At the end of the day, after all is said and done, after we all talk about, I want the best job of all, I want the best marriage, I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, I want to be peaceful. Why do we want all those things? It's not just so we can sit in our home and just say, oh yeah, I'm wealthy. I mean, some people do that, but that's not a good way of living. You know, if you just sit in your home and say, oh yeah, I'm living in a mansion, I have a really nice car, look at my jewelry, it's all gold and diamonds, oh yeah, I'm all that. That's not it. I mean, some people live like that. I've never lived like that, so I don't know how it feels, but that's not the way it goes. So we want all those good things of life. Why? So we can make a difference in somebody else's life. So the first step of being permanently happy, of being at peace, is using the gifts and talents you have to elevate yourself and to elevate other people, to elevate and influence yourself and to elevate and influence other people. And the reason why I say yourself first is we all know what that means. That's why self-love, self-care, self-growth is so important. Because if you're not happy within yourself, if you're not at peace with yourself, if you haven't reached a higher level of being with yourself, it's a little hard to influence other people. You're not, it's not going to work. So you first have to be confident. You first have to understand, Iyabo, who am I? Iyabo, who are you? What are you here for? What are your gifts? And some of you don't know what your gifts are, and that's fine. It took me a while to understand what my real gifts were. But if you don't understand what your real gifts are, I can help you figure it out. Talking to people just for 10 to 15 minutes, I can tell them what their gifts are. It's quite easy, even if they don't know. But you know what your gifts are. Everybody has gifts, and that's why I honestly don't understand why people stay chronically angry. I understand depression because I understand that depression is multifactorial, chemical imbalance, genetic, all that. But anger, I don't understand it because we all have gifts. Honestly, we all have gifts. And if you stay angry all the time, your gifts are not going to be able to manifest. So the first step, and you guys can try this, honestly, this is why I wake up every morning and I'm eager to do something to change people's lives, to influence people, because that is the first step for happiness. You can read every book you want, The Purpose-Driven Life, all the books. That's where happiness comes from. If somebody is thriving because of you, if somebody's life is doing better because of you, if you're using your gifts to make somebody elevated, that's happiness, that's peace. No matter what else is going on, there can be a pandemic or a war or anything going on. If you know that you're needed, your life is meaningful in this world, you're going to be permanently happy. So if you guys want the formula to make you go, if you're feeling sad right now, or you're feeling distressed, or there's something going on in your life that you're not happy about, just try this. And I know that what you may be going through may be complex. Obviously, I'm not talking to you one-on-one. Try this. Try using something you're talented with to change somebody else's life. You'll see how immediately your happiness will just, increase. So you have to use your gifts and your talents to elevate and influence yourself, which means you have to make yourself worthy first. A lot of us do not feel worthy, and that's a problem, especially us women. We don't feel worthy. We want to be like the next person to us. We want to be part of some group. We want to look like somebody else. We're always wanting to reform and reshape ourselves, even physically, not just in our hearts, but even physically, we're trying to look like somebody else, but you're never going to look like somebody else. So accept who you are. You can be improving your life, but you can accept yourself where you are and be improving at the same time. So look at yourself in the mirror, feel worthy, feel good with yourself, and then that goodness, use it to start helping people, and then it starts accumulating on itself. Once you start using your gifts to make other people's lives better, you'll be feeling better, you'll want to do more, That's how it happens. It's like, it's a good thing to be addicted to. I feel like right now I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to helping others. Because once I get all those messages from all the women that message me about, you changed my life, you're making me happier, because of you, I did this because of you, I want to do more. I want to keep doing more to help people, because I'm like, wow, my life is this valuable, my life is this meaningful. But to be able to do that, you have to develop the courage. It takes a lot of courage, and I'm telling you, I haven't always been this courageous, but it takes a lot of courage to step out and start using your gifts. It may be I've said this many times, I know I sound like a broken record, but it may be that gift that you have within you that somebody is waiting for, that is going to prevent them, take them out of their depression, or help them get a job, or help them do something that will help them feed their family, or stop them from committing suicide. But a lot of us just hide our gifts because we're so worried about what people are going to think of us. If you keep caring about what the world is going to think of you, you're never going to step out to use your gifts, people. You're never going to step out. No, there's 7 billion people in the world. Everybody in the world can't agree with you. They can't. So the sooner you accept that some people are going to criticize you, some are not going to like what you're doing, but you are just influencing the people you need to influence. You're just helping those people, because that's what God has called us to do, to be a brother's keeper. That's why he gave all of us kind of like different gifts here and there, because we're meant to be a brother's keeper. And especially in a time like this, in the time of the pandemic, where there's so many people that are troubled, so many people are not doing well, we need more people to come out and help other people elevate. And I understand we all want to make money and all that, but out of influencing and elevating people, the money will come. It will. Again, that's a different topic for another day. I can tell you that over and over. Out of being in your purpose, the money will come. Okay, so that's the first step of being happy. Permanently happy. Again, permanently happy doesn't mean you're dancing and joyful all the time. It means you're at peace. You're content, and you have faith that it's all going to work out at the end of the day. So yeah, Onyedamola is typing it here for us. Improve yourself, and then that goodness to help others. As you're improving yourself, people will see that you're improving yourself, and that will help you also influence other people. So somebody is asking, Netamborg is asking, how do you avoid being taken advantage of when you're trying to help others or use your talents to change, elevate others? Okay. So that's an easy one. You just have to set your boundaries, and you have to stick to your boundaries. It's as easy as that. You're going to have to be quite stubborn with your boundaries. So you have to let them know that this is what you can do, and no, you can't do that. And you just, even if they get upset and get mad at you, you just have to know within your heart that you've done what you can do, and you can't do more than that. So you have to set a boundary. You said, how do you draw a boundary so whilst pouring into others, like during their trouble, depression stage, one does not find themselves falling over the cliff into their depression state as well? Okay. Yeah, so yeah, and that means it's all about boundaries. If you're helping somebody who's feeling sad or feeling depressed, and you are starting to feel like you're falling into that depression with them, you have to have limits for yourself. So let's say it's a friend, and you decide you want to call them twice a week to help them, be happy and get out of their depression. Make sure that you don't get swept into it too much. Give them practical tips. So you can say, my friend, dear friend, make sure you take a walk today. Have you taken a walk in nature? Have you gotten up to take a shower today and dressed up and put some makeup on? Have you done some journaling today? Make sure you have practical tips for them, and don't stay on the phone or stay around them for too long, because yes, it's easy. You have to be very strong-minded not to be pulled into depression with those people. So you have to make sure you have practical tips for them rather than just talking with them. Of course, talk with them first. How are you feeling today? Do you feel a little better today? Have you talked with your therapist today? Are you taking your medication? If they're meant to be taking medication, do a check-in to check all those things. Are you feeling suicidal today? If you are, call the suicidal hotline. So make sure you have set points you want to talk with them about and practical tips you want to give them. Because if you start listening to everything, the reasons why they're feeling depressed, and you're not a trained therapist, it's easy for you to also fall into that same line of depression. So I hope that answers your questions. At least that's what I do with people who are not feeling well. I give them tips. I'm like, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Have you done this today? I hope you're not feeling suicidal, because if you are, this is the suicide hotline. You need to call them now. So I hope that helps you. But again, today I'm just ad-libbing. I'm talking about permanent happiness, what it means. A lot of you have read my book. You know what it's about. But I was talking about the first way to be permanently happy, which is using our gifts to elevate and influence ourselves and to elevate and influence other people. And then somebody asked me a question about how do you draw a boundary when you're helping people so that you don't get swept into that depression. So if any of you have any questions, if you have any questions about career, about personal lives, about entrepreneurship, financial lives, friendship, let's just chat and talk about it. Now, the first tip is what I talked about. I feel that tip is the easiest one to really start to make you happy. If you're using your gifts to bless somebody else, that is what's going to make you want to wake up in the morning. You won't even have time to be sad or to think about your own problems, because you know that there's some people who need you. There's women who message me every day. If I haven't done a video for some time, or they don't hear from me for a while, they're like, Dr. Iyabo, we're waiting for your post. So if you know there's people who yearn for your gifts, that's a way to quickly forget your own problems, because you always want to make sure that they are okay. Not that you forget yourself. I'm coming to that now. The next thing is now, and this is also part of answering your question. Who was the lady? Netambog? If you're still there, the next way to make yourself permanently happy is to make sure that you're nourishing your physical and your spiritual lifelines. So now, even though you're giving, we've talked about giving to other people, using your gifts to elevate other people. Now it's time to think about yourself. Because if you don't think about yourself and you keep giving, you're going to get burnt out, exhausted, angry, depressed, and all of those things. So the way to be happy, to be at peace, to be permanently happy, is to make sure that every single day you're doing something. Every minute, every moment of the day. Time is money. Time is money. Time is wealth. Time is happiness. So the habits that you do, that you engage in every day, that's what's going to make you who you are. If you don't find time every day to laugh, honestly, this vacation we just finished, I laughed so much. When you have little kids around you, my stepsons, especially the little one, the 6-year-old, he's so funny. We laughed this whole vacation. The road trip back home yesterday evening, we were laughing. He talks like an adult. He will just come up with something. I think we were all talking about the topic, and all of a sudden, Ellie says, "You guys, let me ask you a question." And we're thinking, was that a 6-year-old who just said that? I mean, you have to find time, and that's part of nourishing your spiritual lifeline. If you're too rigid and you take yourself too seriously, you're not going to let loose to laugh. Every single day, find something that makes you happy. If there's nobody around you to make you happy, put on a comedy and just watch something that will make you laugh. Like, no matter what, I know the pandemic is going on. It's not that we're being selfish, but we have to take care of ourselves. So nourishing your spiritual lifeline There's so many things. I mean, if I could ask all of you now to start typing in a way that you nourish your spiritual lifeline, maybe we should do that while I'm talking. Can everybody start typing one tip that they do every day so that we can all learn from it on how they nourish their spiritual lifeline? So the one I just said is making sure every day that I laugh out loud. You know, that I laugh out loud. And if my stepsons are not here making me laugh, my husband is saying something that is funny, or my comedian daughter Moni is doing something funny, or my older daughter's dog is here and he's like doing silly things, I find a way to laugh every day. And if we don't find anything, my husband and I watch Mr. Bean. I know some people find him silly, but we'll just put on Mr. Bean and we just start laughing. So laughing is very good. You know, you can't take yourself seriously all the time. So I see everybody is typing, practicing gratitude. I have me time. I journal, meditate on scripture. Everybody should have one thing they do. I read certain blog posts. Yours is one. Thank you, Nentamborg. So everybody who's on here should be typing at least one thing they do to nourish their spiritual lifelines. It's very important. And one thing that also is important for our spiritual lifelines, let's not forget, is our relationships. The people we keep around us. In fact, that should be from number 1 to 10 or number 1 to 5, because the messages I get every day from people, most of them are about relationships, and it's affecting their spirit. So they say you're a product of the 5 people that you're around the most. So Yvonne, hi, welcome. Yvonne Center, welcome. We're talking about ways that we nourish our spiritual lifelines every day. So we need you to type one way. Okay, Foluke said she goes on long walks to have me time. That's great. So the relationships we're around, that's a huge part of spiritual lifelines. So we have to be careful of people we associate with. And if there's people that we cannot separate ourselves from yet, there's some relatives that you can't say, okay, I never want to see you again. Just limit your time around them. You know, limit your time around people who are going to dampen your spirit, because it's not worth it. So you have to be careful of your relationships. I have a coloring book and I color quite often. That's wonderful. I listen to gospel songs because, it keeps me going. Yes. So gospel music, coloring, reading God's word, going for a walk, listening or watching TED Talks. I try to learn something, you see. So, excuse me, guys. So these are all ways of nourishing a spiritual lifeline. I talked about trying to make sure that I laugh every day. I find something to just make me laugh out loud. And if there's nothing, I'll watch a comedy with my husband or with my kids. So nourishing a spiritual lifeline, excuse me, I've been talking for too long, thanks Ronke, is really, really important. And then nourishing a physical lifeline is the other part. So our spirit is the essence of who we are. But then this body outside carries the spirit around. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I have a cough drop in my mouth. Thank you. So our physical life is the body that contains this spirit. So then how do we take care of the body? That's also very important. So if you're nourishing your spirit and nourishing your body, you will find permanent happiness. So how do we nourish our physical life? That's the easier one. So you guys can start typing again. How do you take care of your body every day? Well, I walk. And that's the good thing about walking. Those of you who talked about walking to nourish your spiritual lifeline, that's the wonderful thing about walking, because walking helps you with your physical lifeline and your spiritual lifeline at the same time, because you're exercising, but you're also having me time, or you're also walking outside in nature. So everybody needs to type one thing that they do to nourish their physical lifeline. And if you've just joined in, I'm taking questions. Today is tea time with Dr. Iyabo, but you have only me today. So lucky you, right? Yeah, so you have me today. If you have any questions about relationships or money, entrepreneurship, or personal career development, anything at all, financial freedom, I'm here today. I receive you guys DMs every day. So now I'm here, you have me, you can ask questions. So one person has typed that they eat healthy. Nobody else has typed anything about their physical lifeline. So can people start typing how you nourish your physical lifeline every day? I make sure that I walk. I take about average 10,000 steps every day. So yes, walking, sleeping, walking, wish I could run. I can't run again either. I started having knee pain. So when you get to a certain age, your knees start to complain. So I just walk. But I used to run a lot and my knees started to give me trouble. I had to take physical therapy about 5 years ago. Ronke says, I look in the mirror and say, damn girl, you're beautiful. That actually is really important. Self-love. Self-affirmation, because a lot of us women never think we're good enough. We're always wanting to try to look like the next person. We want to be a size 0 or size 2 or be a size 10, or we're always, and self-improvement is good, but you have to also self-accept yourself where you are now while you're self-improving. So looking at the mirror and loving on yourself, walking and sleeping. Let's not forget sleep, guys. Sleep is really, really important. Yvonne, thanks for reminding us. Sleep is really, really important for health. I take naps in the afternoons a lot too. Eating healthy, walking. I started eating healthy and I've lost 40. Wow, Foluke, you've lost 14 kilograms since the pandemic. Can everybody give Foluke a thumbs up? I have gained weight during the pandemic. Most people have gained weight, so we have to give you there's lots of hearts going on for you here, Foluke. Wow, you see, that's courage, that's determination. You see, it's possible, you can do it. When people are gaining weight, Foluke is losing weight. I have gained weight. I've gained maybe about 5-6 pounds during this pandemic. I have, and every time I try to get it off, I can't. Because it's just, I don't know, we're always eating chips and stuff. But so you see, everybody give Foluke a hands up. But yeah, thumbs up, because that's really good. So that's the second part of finding permanent happiness. The first part, if you're just joining, is using your gifts to elevate and influence yourself, and using those gifts to elevate and influence other people. If you're helping people, you're not going to remember about your own troubles. You know that your life is meaningful. Then the second step to permanent happiness is nourishing your spiritual and your physical lifelines. Okay, quiet time is really important for spiritual lifelines. Really important. A lot of us don't have enough quiet time during the day. And I understand some of us still have little kids and it's very hard to have quiet time, but you'll have to work it out with your husband or with your partner or spouse, how you can have some quiet time every day, because having sensory stimulation all the time is not very good for us. You have to find a time when you're quiet by yourself and you can journal. And somebody did add that. I think it was Oyedamola talked about journaling for spiritual time, and that's really important. Journaling and writing down our thoughts is really, really important. So I'm really happy. If you haven't told us how you maintain your spirit and your physical lifelines, please type it so we can learn. You see how we all got inspired by Foluke, who's lost 14 kilograms. So it's possible. It's not everybody who's gaining 15 pounds. Foluke has lost 14 kilograms. That's about 28 pounds, oh. That's about 28 or 30 pounds. That's not even pounds. So Foluke, well done. And I'm taking questions if you have any questions. Nentamborg, you said, been planning on actually indulging a personal trainer, been procrastinating, so for now going up and down stairs in the house. Wonderful. If you have stairs in the house, you can do that too. That's really good exercise. I do that too. I walk up and down my stairs. So that's fine. If you can't afford to have a personal trainer, Just use your own body for exercise. Walk around, take a walk outside in nature, walk around your home, or go up and down the stairs. So, well done. Yes, so quiet time, strict routines for the children to allow some space for you. Then the third way to have permanent happiness is, let me see if anybody remembers. Who's read my book here? Who wants to type the third step? Let me see. There's some people on here who've read my book. I won't put you on the spot, but let's see if somebody is going to volunteer to type what the third step to permanent happiness is. Who remembers? Bright and beautiful Boramwood, welcome. Sharon, Yemi, welcome. Welcome everyone to Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. It's me today. I don't have a guest today, but in October I have 3 wonderful guests for you that are coming on. So I hope that if you have any questions for me, you'll feel free to type them on here so that I can address them for you while I'm here. But who remembers what the third step to permanent happiness is? Does anyone remember? If you remember, can you give me a thumbs up so that I'll know you're typing it up? Otherwise, I can just talk about it. Hello, bright and beautiful Boramwood. Thanks for joining in. I'm assuming you're joining in from England. That's in England, right? I believe so. Yeah. So does anybody remember the third step if you've read my book? Over 50 exempted. Exempted from what? Okay, let me see. Okay, I guess nobody remembers the third step. Okay, so the third step to being permanently happy is living by the fruit of the Spirit. And I'm sure you're all like, oh yeah, that's the third step. So there's 9 fruits of the Spirit. And I'm telling you, if you structure your life around living by the fruits of the Spirit, you won't have a problem. I'm telling you, God knows what he was doing when he gave us the Bible as the word, because I'm telling you, I tell people all the time, oh yes, we don't care, you're just remembering. So yes, if you live by the fruit of this, and it's not just for Christians, I put it in my book, whether you're Christian or Muslim or atheist or Buddhist, if you live by those 9 fruits of the Spirit, you won't have any problems in the world. God is so smart. He's also loving. He's also wonderful. He knows what he was doing when he told us about the fruits of the Spirit. So there's 9 of them. Can people start typing? I want to make this interactive. I'm not just the one talking, but I want to know what you guys know. So who knows the fruits of the Spirit? Can everybody type 1 or 2 or how many you know? But those are wonderful characteristics, the fruits of the Spirit. They are wonderful characteristics. So patience, kindness, love, joy. If you're patient, if you calm down, if you don't let everything get you flustered and everything gets you angry, patience is a virtue, like we say, right? Love your enemies. Love people who've wronged you. Even if they've wronged you, even if they've done wrong to you, just love them. Joy. It's what we're discussing today. How to have joy in your heart, how to have peace in your self-control. That's probably my favorite one. Yvonne, that's probably my favorite one. Self-control. If you have self-control, you will be able to solve a lot of your problems. You'll be able to solve your overeating, because that's a control issue in some people. Self-control will help you have good relationships because you'll be patient. You'll be able to calm down and control yourself. Faithfulness is another one. Gentleness. So I think we've put all of them here. Self-control. I think there's is it forbearance? Yeah, perseverance. I think it's forbearance, but it's kind of similar to perseverance. So love, joy, and then peace is another one. I think somebody typed peace. So you see, it's just basically the third step of being permanently happy is just being a good person. It takes a lot less energy to be a good person than to be a bad, unkind person, honestly. And that's what people don't understand. Yes, if you have self-control, you'll be able to avoid overeating and being impulsive. And I know it's easier said than done, but again, life is habitual. Life is about our habits. Life takes practice. Life takes, doing the same old thing over and over again. So you just have to keep on practicing and writing it somewhere. When I wrote my book and I was giving talks, I told people to write down the 9 fruits of the Spirit and stick it on their walls in their home somehow. And some people said they did that and it actually worked for them, because reminding yourself that it pays to have love, to have goodness, forbearance, all of that, that it pays to have all of those things, and you see it somewhere, it's a really, really good thing, really good. So those are the 3 steps of having peace in your life. And if you joined later, we're talking about permanent happiness, which is the title of my book, which is on Amazon. A lot of the people on here have read it. If you haven't read it, it's available on Amazon, but I've shared the 3 steps to you. But you can still buy the book if you want. Of course, I want you to buy the book, but those are the 3 steps. There's no problem you have in life. It's a book I wrote when my dad passed away, and it actually helped me heal from my dad's loss. So if you're doing those 3 things every day and you're repeating those 3 things, Claire, hi. And you're repeating, everybody say hi to my bestie for life. Claire is on here. So if you're repeating those 3 things every day, you'll see that you'll have peace in your life. If you're using your gifts to elevate and influence yourself and to elevate and influence other people, you'll forget about your own worries, because you'll know that your life has value and meaning to help other people. Number 2, you're nourishing your spiritual and your physical lifelines. Clarita. And number 3, you're living by the fruit of the Spirit. You're just being a good person. It takes 0 energy to be a good person. 0 energy. Do you know how much energy it takes to be mean and wicked and unkind? It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy in your spirit and a lot of energy. It's like just throwing negative energy all around. So it's not worth it, guys. If you want to be successful in your personal life, in your career life, live by those 3 things for permanent happiness, and you'll just see how good things will be attracted to you. Yes, you're living healthy, your spirit is healthy, you're helping other people, you're being kind and loving and forgiving. I wish forgiveness was one of the fruits of the Spirit, but I guess if you're living by those 9 fruits of the Spirit, there's no way you won't have forgiveness in your soul, right? If you're loving, if you're joyful, if you're being patient, if you're being kind, you'll also be forgiving. Yes, you'll also be forgiving. So that is how to be permanently happy. And when people ask me all the time, Dr. Iyabo, you always seem to be happy. I'm like, I'm not happy all the time. But one thing I can say is I'm at peace 99% of the time. Honestly, I'm at peace 99% of the time. I can cry about something sad now, but I'll be repeating a scripture in my mind and just telling myself that trust in God, trust in God. I'll be repeating, all sorts of spiritual Bible verses in my mind, and I'm at peace. That is how to do it. That is how to live and to glow. And when people ask you, how are you glowing? How are you at peace? It's because of those 3 things. You don't need to have trouble in your life. So that is permanent happiness. That is what I wanted to come on to discuss with you. Now, do you have any questions, or is there anything else you'd like me to talk about? I'm happy to talk about any other topic, whether it's relationships or whether it's career development or switching careers or financial freedom. I think we have about 10 or 15 more minutes. So I'm happy to take questions, and I'm happy to, if you have any other topics you want, my off-the-shoulder top keeps on riding up. Let's try and keep it off the shoulders. Right? Ronke, look in the mirror and see I'm beautiful, right? That's how to be permanently happy. Anyway, jokes aside. So yes, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Any questions, any comments? Is there anything you'd like me to talk about? We've been talking about, talking about permanent happiness, and we're done. Somebody suggested financial freedom. My favorite scripture is Isaiah 26 verse 3. He will keep in perfect peace those whose mind is stayed on me. Oyindamola has said it. That's it. That's it. It's as easy as that, because in life there will be trouble. We cannot avoid that. There's going to be trouble, but you can find peace within from here. And that peace that you find within, you can let it radiate out to other people. So financial freedom, bright and beautiful Borum Wood. What would you like me to discuss about financial freedom? There's many layers to it. As the word freedom says, it's just being financially free. It's living on your own terms, having money to the point where you don't have any restrictions or any restraints or any hardships, where you can feel that you're paying your bills and you're living a comfortable life and you're not grinding and hustling and struggling for money. That's basically what financial freedom means. If you look up the meaning of freedom, it means acting or living or speaking on your own terms without hardships, without constraints or restraints. And when that applies to money, it means you have money in a way that you can pay your bills and you're not hustling and grinding and working 60 hours a week. I'm not hating your job. It's just where money is flowing through you very easily and you're making money easily. That's what financial freedom means. And the way to get financial freedom, I have a whole course on it, which you can purchase, and people are already taking the course. Already 7 people have bought, well, more than 7 have bought my course, but 7 have actually even completed the course, and we're having a coaching session soon. But there's many ways to achieve financial freedom. Many ways. You don't have to be a big intellectual. You don't have to be a doctor or lawyer or engineer to have financial freedom. You can bake cakes and have financial freedom from it. You can bake pies and have financial freedom from it. You can set up a car wash business and have financial freedom from it. You can be selling earrings and get financial freedom from it. But it's how you build up the business, how you structure the business, how you market your brand, how you put yourself out there, who you're marketing to, how you reinvest your money. So there's many layers to that, which is again beyond the scope of this, but you're using the ways to get financial freedom. So the first thing you have to figure out is, what are your gifts? Which we already talked about in Permanent Happiness. What is it that you love doing? Too many people hate their jobs these days. And that's because they're not in a job where they're actually using their God-given gifts. And it's fine. You can have a job that you hate. You have to be wise about it. You can keep the job that you hate, that is still giving you money, while on the other hand, you're working on a business or startup with your gifts. We're supposed to pay money for this free info. Don't worry, Yvonne. I'm not giving them all the details. You know me. So you can have the money that is Yvonne is like, we're supposed to pay. There's people who paid for my course who are on here. Don't worry, I'm not giving them all the tips. I'm giving them a little starter so they can come and have the main course and the dessert. So you can have the job that you hate over here, but then you have to figure out your gifts on the other side and figure out how to use those gifts on this side to then make money for yourself. So there's a whole formula to it, but again, I can't finish all this in 1 hour. That's why I have it in my online course and you have to pay for it. But the meaning of financial freedom, I defined it for you. It's having money on your own terms and having money without constraints or restraints, but there's like a whole formula and way to get there. So you have to sign up for my course, Bright and Beautiful Borum Wood. You You have to sign up for my course. Alexandria, hi, how are you? FW Style. I remembered your name. In fact, I remembered both of your names today, Alexandria and Wumi. I'm always calling my dear sister FW Style because that's her brand. And you see, that's how branding works. She's branded herself so well that that's all that comes to my head when I see her. I call her brand name. But yes. So I hope I helped you a little bit. Bright, beautiful Borum Wood with financial freedom. But I can't explain everything to you here. You have to buy my course and you have to sign up for my online coaching. Okay, is there any other topic anybody wants me to talk about? We talked about permanent happiness. If you're just joining, use your gifts to elevate yourself and elevate other people. Nourish your physical and spiritual lifelines. Live by the fruit of the Spirit. Those are the 3 ways to be permanently happy. So if anybody has any questions here about anything, even if it's about branding, I guess I can talk about branding a little bit. Branding is very important. Branding just means that you are marketing yourself in a way that is memorable and that when people see you, they don't forget who you are and they want more of you. That is branding, basically, a brand. And I just explained how Alexandria's brand has stuck to my head because I know FW Style and then I remember bags and good leather products and good bag products. That's really good branding. So if I brand myself well, my brand Dr. Iyabo, if you hear Dr. Iyabo, you should think, oh yeah, Dr. Iyabo, the lady who likes to empower women. Oh yeah, the lady who I went for her online course and it changed my life. Oh yes, oh Dr. Iyabo, the one who said that she likes laughing every day to make herself spiritually happy. So yes, basically, Alexandria, thank you, but that's the definition of branding. It's just creating a memorable experience for people when they see you. It's like Beyonce. I mean, who doesn't know Beyonce? She's a one-word person, and if you say, who is Beyonce? I'm sure even a 3-year-old or 8-year-old can tell you. So that is branding. You have to make yourself unique and stand out. It doesn't mean that you're doing something that nobody has ever done, but you're doing it in your own unique way. Like my friend Claire posted on my page today, be true to yourself. That's basically branding. Be true to yourself. Make the experience when people come and visit your social media or your shop, whatever it is, even if you have a shop, let's say we didn't have COVID and you're setting up a shop outside for people to come to, make sure that you set up an experience for them that will stick in their memory and they'll remember you with that experience. That's basically what branding is. So you have to be so excellent and so unique and so meaningful and so valuable to the person that even on the first encounter, they don't forget who you are and they want to keep coming back for more. That is branding. So that's why it's so important to be true to yourself, but to also put something that is high quality out there. High quality is very, very important. I'm looking at the time because we just have about 6 or 8 minutes more. Putting high quality things out is very important, and it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money to put high quality things out. You remember the tea time I had with Elfoni where we talked about dressing for success, presenting yourself. Your makeup and your lipstick can be CVS brand or corner shop brand, but just look put together. My earrings are from J. Crew. You guys know that I have a whole collection of J. Crew earrings. These earrings, I don't know, they were probably like $30-something. They're not gold, but I put it all together. My hair was rough after the vacation because I was in the pool and in the ocean a lot of the time, so my hair was rough. So I picked out my pink headband that I bought from CVS and I used it to cover my rough hair in the front. So it doesn't have to be super expensive. You can put yourself together and make yourself presentable to elevate yourself. But that's branding. So that the people remember. No, J. Crew isn't way cheap. I'm just Yvonne, my sister Yvonne, you're funny. No, but I just wanted to say that You don't have to be wearing gold earrings that cost $5,000 all the time. No, that's the point I'm trying to make. I do have gold earrings, but I also, have earrings that don't cost a lot. I'm not saying J. Crew is cheap. Yvonne, you're funny. And you see, this is where it's good to laugh, right? I'm doing a show and I'm laughing. But I was trying to prove a point that you can elevate yourself. The earrings could be $5. But if you put it together, you look presentable. So that's what I meant by making sure that your brand is an experience that people can remember. It's memorable for them. So a lot of us are in the digital space now, and there's money in the digital space. I've said it on my videos. So if you're looking to elevate in your business, you're looking for ways to scale your business, you have gold in your hands. You don't pay for Instagram, you don't pay for Facebook unless you pay for ads. But it's all there for you to put yourself out there and start doing what you love most and using your gifts. And like I said, keep your day job. Even if you hate your day job, don't quit your day job. Be wise about it. Keep your day job. Let it be your money funnel to funnel your other gifts. That's how you start that. So I've given you just one tip today for financial freedom. That's the gift. That's the tip. So if you want more, you have to sign up for my online course on financial freedom. But branding is also part of that. You have to put out good quality things because there's so much competition in the entrepreneurial field that if you don't stand out, you're just going to get into the rubble. You're going to, and I'm sure Alexandra here can give us one or two tips because she has a successful business. Alexandra sells lovely handbags. You've seen me take pictures with so many of them. I have my FW style collection in my closet and I love them. Honestly, they're wonderful quality, the same quality as some of those big brands out there that sell for $2,000. But she's created her niche and her branding is spot on. So Alexandra, if you want to say hi to people and type up one or two branding things for people and let them know how to find you. But Alexandra has created a lovely business for herself. And I love to, talk about my fellow women who are doing great things to help them also. My friend Ronke, who is on here, also has a wonderful business. She has a daycare center helping, families take care of their kids when they have to work. Even the ones that are working at home for now, she has a daycare. So if you have any families or you have young kids in Atlanta that need a place to be so that you can have some space and some breathing, a fresh air and rest, you can put your kids in her daycare. She's a wonderful mother to all these kids. So, this is somebody who has a daycare because she loves kids. She's doing what she loves, but still making money from it. That's Ronke Aya Baby. My other sister on here, FW Style, she makes bags because she's stylish and she wants women to look lovely. So, there's so much you can do. Alexandra's website, just go to @FW Style. Let me type it for you. And Ronke, can you please type your handle, please, for your daycare so that people can share it with people they know. So, these are the things that we can do as women to create financial freedom for ourselves, to elevate our branding, to do what we love so that we can become entrepreneurial, we can have financial power, we can have wealth, and we can do all of those things. So it's very, very important. And everybody who's on here, if you want people to know what you do, we have 3 or 4 minutes. Let's turn it into a networking let's turn it into a networking thing and just type up your handle and let people know what you do so they can patronize you. I have Yvonne on here, who's a health coach. Where's my darling Yvonne? Yvonne is a health coach. She's in wonderful shape. Yvonne, I should come to you to show me how to lose these 5 pounds I've been trying to lose. Oh, my hips are getting a bit, full. But anyway, Yvonne Center is a health coach. She helps people lose weight. Nentambong, who was on here, I think you were looking for a health coach. Why don't you two connect? And Yvonne, you can help Nentambong with the weight she wants to lose and get fit and all that. So We have to help each other. Everybody can, if you have a business you want other women to know about, type it on here. When I post this video on Instagram, I'm going to add in all of these Instagram handles and let people know the women we talked with today and how we can help each other. So networking is very important, and this is what I want to do with my platform. I want to get women together who are like-minded, who are high-achieving women. Because I call them high-achieving women because I can't waste my energy on people who only listen and don't want to take action. It's a waste of energy. You know, so I call them high-achieving women. If you want to listen to what I'm saying and then you want to take it into action, then follow me. But if you just want to listen and you're not ready to take action, then it's not going to work for you. Because there's more, you know, the only thing I can do is to inspire and empower you, but you have to take the action. So let's be all these high-achieving women who are going to network and get together to help each other elevate. You know, iron sharpens iron. You know, you are my brother's keeper. That's for me. My phone was ringing. That's my platform. But yes, so everybody who's on here, if you want to DM me when we're done and let me know what business you have, I'm going to put it on this video when I post it on Instagram, and then we can all network. Please, let's stay together. Let's help each other. This is it. It's 1 hour. I'm going to sign off so I can save this video. I hope my tea time helped you today, even though I didn't have a guest. But in October, I have 3 wonderful guests. So make sure that you join me in October. And go and sign up for my coaching and for my online course, because on October 2nd, my prices go up, and they don't go up by little, they go up by a lot. So if you're still procrastinating on my online course and on my coaching, you better do it between now and Thursday night. Otherwise, not that you can't do it, but otherwise my prices are going up by a lot. So, all right, lovies. I love you all. I always like chatting with all of you. Take care. This is going to be on my Instagram and on YouTube. Thank you, Onidamola. I love you all. Thanks for joining in. Bye. See you next time. Bye-bye. God bless. Bye.